think we're going to get started. I'm going to just do a little talk before we begin our practice, and then we'll get started. So today's practice is ayurvedically inspired. Probably read the description already. So Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga. And the main principle is that everything in the natural world is also present within us in varying degrees. So we have the main 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And so according to the principles of Ayurveda, we each have different portions of those 5 elements within us, depending on what our parents were like, what time of year we were born. All those kinds of factors influence what our dosha is. And our dosha is, you know, that proportion of the elements within us. So some of us are very naturally very fiery, or some of us are kind of spacey, airy, and some people are really earthy and kind of really nurturing. So there are different qualities that go with each of these. And the time of year is also influenced by this. So we're in the time of year that's called kapha season. And kapha season is influenced by earth and water. So earth and water have these qualities of heaviness. So we think of the earth, we talk about that a lot when it helps us be grounded, and water gives us kind of our fluidity. When you put those two together, earth and water can make mud, right? So it's sometimes at this time of year, if we are naturally an earth water person, or even if we're not, we might start to feel that excess of earth and water. And excess of earth and water can look like heaviness, slow, dull digestion, stagnation, just kind of feeling stuck, maybe depressed a little bit. On the kind of emotional side of things, a kapha person might be more toward hoarding, right? So they hold on to things, accumulate things. Kind of being sleepy, napping all the time, congestion in the body, difficulty breathing, and you know, they're good sleepers, that's for sure. So people who have a lot of earth and water tend to get a deeper, restful sleep. So there's, you know, there's kind of both sides of the coin. There's positive things that we can get from this dosha, and also imbalances that can occur. So our practice today is designed to kind of get that energy moving in our bodies, particularly the areas of our lymph. So the areas of our lymph can get really clogged up, particularly at this time of year. So I'm just going to show you a quick little picture you guys can see. So that's your lymph system, all those colors in the body. So a lot of it's concentrated here in the collarbones, out through your arms, also a lot in the groin, in our neck. So sometimes you get those kind of sore spots. Those can be swollen lymph nodes here, down in the armpit area. So we're going to work with the chest and the arms and just kind of really getting energy moving in our practice today. Also just kind of trying to cultivate feelings of lightness, which is the opposite of the heaviness that we might be experiencing. So whenever we have an imbalance in the Ayurveda, we cultivate the opposite. So if something's heavy, we want to focus on something that's lighter, right? So if something's too earthy, we want to bring in the opposite qualities. So fire, air, and space are going to help counter that feeling of heaviness and, you know, maybe kind of mucusy, congested, sort of stuff like that. So we're going to need a strap if you have one. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or something like that, or scarf. Or if you don't have any of that stuff, don't worry, we can just work around it. Some blocks, and perhaps a blanket or a padding for under your knees, because we're going to do a bunch of stuff on our knees. So I'm going to meet you on your mat. I'm going to mute everybody, and just any quick questions before we get started on all of that information. I'm hoping that I'm going to kind of put a workshop together on getting a little bit more information about Ayurveda. So if you're interested in more, that'll be coming up soon. All right, here comes the mute. I'll meet you on your mat. All right, so you can go ahead and come onto your back. If you wish, you can have something under your head. That might be okay in the beginning. Eventually, we're going to take that away. And then just come down flat on your back. We'll just take a little bit of time for breath work. So just letting your body first get heavy. So in order to feel the lightness, we first have to feel the heaviness. So let your body drop into the ground. And initially here, we feel that sense of gravity. And start to find your breath. And allow your breath to start to slow and smooth out. And beginning to become aware of when you inhale, there's maybe a little bit of sense of lightness in the body. And as you exhale, there's a little bit more of that heaviness in the body. Now, as you inhale, imagine that you are breathing in light, air, and space. So the body starts to have a quality of feeling a little bit lighter. And as you breathe out, just simply release that exhale, trying to hold on to that sense of lightness a little bit in your body. So the inhales are uplifting. They give us energy. And the exhales are a little bit more grounding. They help us be calm and nourished, grounded. So a lot of times we favor the exhales, we favor this sense of grounding. So a lot of us need it, but in this practice today, to overcome the blahs as we're working on, we want to favor our inhales. We still are going to have a nice complete exhale, but just really paying attention to those inhales as they fill you up. All right, so from here, we're going to continue to work now with the breath, but we're going to add on some movement patterns. So if you have a pillow under your head, now might be a time to take it out. Let your arms be at your side. And as you inhale, imagine there's a string on the center of your heart, and you're going to lift your heart up toward the ceiling. So it gets lighter, your back lifts away from the ground, your shoulders are getting heavier. Notice the muscles that are contracting as you lift your heart. It's a little back bend. And then you're going to slowly, slowly release it down when you are ready. Try that a few more times. Inhale, lift your heart toward the ceiling, get lighter through your heart space, as if you're just gonna like float up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, release. On your own, go ahead and do one more just like this. Inhale as long as you can, letting those arms get heavy, back arches away from the ground, and then simply release. Now we're going to add on, let the heart rest, and now we're going to work with the arms and the legs. So as you inhale, bend your knees, start to lift your arms away from the ground. Keep your heels down, but just lift your arms, lift your knees, and feel like your arms and your legs are going to float up toward the sky, and then soften all the way back down. And let's try that one another time or two. So heels stay down, bend your knees, the arms can actually lift off the ground. And notice where you feel it. You might feel it in your back, you might feel it in the backs of your legs. Those muscles contracting to lift you up. We're going to do that one more time, and we're going to add on. So try to lift your arms, lift your knees, and release. So now we're going to try and start to lift up a little higher. So those of you who are here for the gentle practice, we're going to take it to the next level. So on your next Next inhale, we're going to start to lift the head, chest, and shoulders. Lift your arms, bend your knees, and eventually we come all the way up. And we're going to roll over onto one hip. So you can go on your right hip or your left hip, doesn't matter. And then we're going to roll back to center and float back down. And let's try that on the other side. As you inhale, you're going to bend those knees, lift those arms. Now lift your head, chest, and shoulders and rock onto your opposite hip and just hold it there for a moment like you're hovering. And then back to center and release, coming all the way down. And again, other side, start to lift arms, knees, head, chest. Lift up. We're going to rock toward the first side. Now we're going to hold it here and lower halfway down while you're still on the side of your hip. So you're going to notice you're using your core a little bit here, and then you might do your floating. So you're going to move your arms, move your legs. Those of you who've been to my class in the past know this is called the spaceman abs. So it's like you're floating in the sky, but you're just balancing on that one hip. Now, if anything's too much, just take a break. Do what you can. Come back to center and let it go. Feel the ground beneath you again. One more time, other side. On your inhale, start to float up. Bend your knees, lift your head, chest. Rock onto the other hip. Hold there. Slowly lower part way. How far you come down is negotiable. The more you come down, the harder it is. And then float. Kind of moving those arms and legs in space as you're balancing on the side of your hip. When we do core work, particular core work, go ahead and release. It works on strengthening our psoas. And our psoas gives us lightness and springiness in our body. When it's tight and weak, we feel a lot stiffer, a lot heavier. All right, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Give them a good squeeze. And we're going to rock and roll on our spine. So it's like when you're a kid, you're going to rock and roll. If it's too much, you're just going to come up to sit. But if you can, let's do 3 or 4. And then come all the way up. And we're going to come into a seated posture. All right, so feel free to put something under your seat. If it's hard for you to sit up tall, you might want a blanket or a pillow. Widen out your sit bones. And then find that nice length through the spine. Lift up through the crown of your head. And just we'll do a little bit more breath work here. So breath is one of the most important things to help us beat the blahs. If our breath is off, our system is going to be off as well. So we're going to start with an ujjayi breath. So ujjayi breath, we constrict the back of the throat as we breathe in and breathe out, like you're fogging a mirror. So if you're never done this before, you could put your hand in front of your mouth as if it's a mirror, take an inhale and then go like a ha sound and vibrate your throat. That's the feeling we want to get, but we want to breathe through our nose. So close your eyes or find a gazing point. Begin breathing in and out through your nose. And see if you can find a little vibration, a little restriction in the back of your throat. We said that this breath practice helps draw the breath out a little bit so it becomes longer, also warms the breath a little bit more. So warmth is one of those opposite qualities of earth and water. Earth and water are considered cold, so warming the breath is really important. Let's take 3 more rounds of ujjayi breath. Warming the breath is also really important for our lungs. So if we breathe through our mouth, the air is going to be drier and colder and irritate our lungs, and it causes inflammation. So we want to make sure as much as we can to breathe through our noses. Now we're going to take this to a breath of fire next. So finish up your last round of ujjayi. And breath of fire is going to be a more powerful breath that's going to bring even more warmth into the body. Put your hands on your belly. And to do this breath practice, we take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to do kind of a snap of the abdomen in to kind of sharply press the exhale out. And then we start to make it faster. So it looks like this. Take an inhale, and then you're going to snap your belly about 10 times. You might want to clear your nose if it's not clear. You have some of that extra congestion. That's excess earth and water. All right, so we're going to try it together. And what we're going to do after the 10 counts, we're going to inhale, hold the breath at the top, look up towards your third eye with your eyes closed. So this is an action of bringing energy upward, which is good for this heaviness of the kapha. All right, so let's start together. Take an inhale, and then 10 rounds, snapping the belly, breath of fire. After 10, inhale, hold the breath for a moment, look up towards your third eye with your eyes closed. And when you're ready, exhale it out slowly. Now this breath can sometimes leave us a little lightheaded. It's a lot of breathing. If it does, just take a break, it'll pass. We're going to do it 2 more rounds. This time we're going to go for 20. So in gentle, we only did 10, 10, 10. We're going to amp it up today. So we're going to do 20 and then 30. You can always stick with 10 if it's too much. Here we go. Inhale and begin. 20 counts. Inhale fully, hold the breath for a moment. Eyes could be closed if you like. Look up towards your third eye. And when you're ready, exhale it out completely. One more time, so take a little recovery time. We're going to go for 30 if you can. So I always talk about this breath as kind of a natural caffeine. It's very uplifting, and it can help bring clarity to the mind. And it breaks up stagnation and congestion in the chest as well. So 30 times this time if you can. Here we go. Inhale and begin. After 30, inhale and hold. Gaze up. Eyes are closed if you can. And then exhale when you are ready, all the way out. Very good. All right, so just kind of notice the effect of that breathing practice on your body. Sometimes it makes us a little warm too, but it's really, at this time of year, good to get the body warm, even break a sweat. So we might break a sweat today. So we're going to come into all fours for our tabletop. Maybe pad your knees because we're going to be here a little bit on the knees. I like to have a blanket. And line up your knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. We're going to do our cat-cows, but we're going to make the breath a little more powerful today. And if we can, we're going to speed it up a little bit. Normally we do everything really slow, it's more grounding, but today we want to break up stagnation. So inhale, exhale, round into your spine. Give your belly a good squeeze, and then inhale, look forward, lift the chest, lift the sit bones, and exhale. Now, I'm going to leave it up to you. It's negotiable what feels right for you. Speed it up to your capacity. Inhale, exhale. And get a nice, strong, powerful breath going here. I'm going to just pause, watch you guys. So as much as you want this breath, as powerful as you'd like it to be. Now, if it gets to be too much, you get lightheaded, start to feel a little bit overwhelmed with it, you're going to go slower. Okay, so let's do 3 more cycles here on your own. And if you can, that nice, powerful breath. Good. After your third round, go ahead and just take a brief pause in your child's pose. So you can move your hips towards your heels, and you can either stack your head on your hands, keep your arms forward. You can also use a block if you get a little lightheaded in your child's pose. So listen to your body. For some of us, this faster pace is not going to feel right, and so that depends on your what's right for you. Adapt it to meet your own needs. Okay, let's come back into your tabletop pose, and we're going to add on to a side plank now. So maybe watch for a moment. I'm going to swing my left shin out to the side, and that gives me a little kickstand. Take my right leg back and come right hand onto hip. Okay, so from here, maybe I'm going to float this leg up. Maybe I'm going to reach this arm up. If it's too much, you can always keep that down. And then imagine you're being pulled up by that top arm. So you get lighter on that bottom hand. Lift through your top leg. And then from here, we're going to start to get lighter on the supporting fingers. Can you come up on your finger pads? You'll start to lower your leg to the ground, and then we rise up to gate pose. That's it. And then from here, bring that hand down, and you're going to come into a side bend, reaching over towards your left side. And then from here, you're going to cartwheel your hands down, and you're going to come back up into that side plank if you can. Lift the top leg, reach to the arm. Now we're going to add on. So from here, take the top arm, and you're going to go like thread the needle. Bring your leg down and reach that arm through toward the back. You might want to watch. We're going to inhale. You can either keep this leg down for balance or lift it up. And then from here, leg comes down, arm threads through. It's another bit of a core exercise. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, leg down, reach through. Inhale, come up, and let's do gate again. Let that foot come down, get lighter on your fingertips, come up, and reach into your side bend. Good, and then coming down. Now one time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach that arm through. Inhale, come up, lift that leg. Good, foot comes down, rise up through gate pose. One more time through. And then release, hand comes down, reach that leg if you like. And the arm comes through, leg comes down. And then inhale up, and we're gonna change sides. So I'm gonna spin around so my back is not to you. And now we're gonna take the other shin, so left shin over to the side, little kickstand, right leg back behind you, and start here with your hand on your hip. Good, and then we'll float that leg up, reach the arm up. And really reach that top arm high. So you get lighter through your wrist, reach through the top leg, lift it high. You feel very buoyant. And now we start to get lighter on those fingertips. Come on up, and we'll come into gate pose. So we reverse, reaching over toward the right. Good. And let's try that a few times. Reach up and come up into gate. Now adding on the abs. So from here, first round, let's try a few. Lift up, arm comes through, leg comes down. Inhale, lift up, get buoyant. Exhale, thread it through. Last time, and then we'll just move through a few cycles. Good, and then leg comes down, reach it to the back. So on your own, you're gonna cycle through. You can stay with me if you like. Reach up and thread it through. So see if you can move with kind of a lightness through your body. Let's do one more round through after this one. Last time through. Good, and now this time release and we come back into our tabletop pose. I'm gonna spin around again. You can take your blanket out now if you like. We're gonna now begin our standing sequence. But first, let's go tabletop to down dog for a few rounds. Take your hands slightly forward, so a long tabletop. Inhale a lift of your chest. Exhale, lift up, down dog. We're going to repeat that. Knees down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lift up, down dog. One more time. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lift through your sit bones, nice and high. Hold here now in your dog. Next inhale, we're coming into plank pose, top of a push-up. Adjust, shoulders over wrist, and lower down to the ground. Couple rounds of cobra. Back bends are really good for breaking up chest congestion. Roll the shoulders back, chest forward, lift up. And then exhale, release. Shoulders roll back, lift up. And one more time. Shoulders roll back, lift up. So we want those collarbones to be open. That is the area, concentration of lymph there. Release. Now, to make this a little more challenging, we're going to squeeze the legs together. And then on the inhale, we're taking a cobra. Lift up. As you exhale, forehead down, legs lift as high as you can. It's like you're bobbing up and down. So inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, legs lift. Try to squeeze your legs together as well. They might not touch, but that's okay. One more round. And then relax. Rest on your belly for a moment. Give your hips a little wiggle. And we're going to come back to downward facing dog. In your dog, on your next inhale, take your right leg straight up behind you. We're going to bend the knee, open your hip up, turn your pelvis to the right. Keep your left hip firming, keep your left arm firming. And now see if you can get light on your right fingers. You might pop up onto those fingers. Really get light, maybe straighten that leg. Firm your hips, firm your legs. Some of you might be able to come onto one finger. Maybe you could lift your hand for a moment. And then let's release. Inhale, plank pose. Lower down. We'll do the other side next. Inhale, one time cobra. Exhale, one time leg lift. Legs down, press to down dog. Good, let's do the other side. I'm going to check in on you guys. Inhale the left leg up. Bend your knee, open your hip. Good. Now, opposite side, really firm it in. Firm your hip, firm your shoulder. Turn your pelvis toward the left. And then you're going to get light on those fingertips. That's it. Yeah, so that supporting arm and leg are firming in. The other hand, you get light. Maybe you can pop up onto one fingertip. Maybe you're going to straighten your leg. Maybe you're going to lift your hand for a second. There you go. All right, release. Nice job, guys. And come forward into your plank pose. Lower down. Nice work. One time inhale, cobra, shoulders back. And release, lift the legs as you exhale. Good. Downward facing dog. Stay in your dog. While you're in your dog, bend your knees and straighten your legs. Bend your knees and straighten your legs. If you're feeling energetic, add a little hop. Little hop. Getting a little buoyancy, a little energy going. That might not be right for everybody. And then pause, and we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. From here, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach through your arms. And as you exhale, make a cactus shape with your arms. Bend your elbows and try a little back bend here. Lift your heart with that string toward the sky. Lift your gaze. And then release the arms up, come back to vertical. 2 more. Pull down. Open the heart, lift the heart, and release. 1 more time. Good. From here, release your arms down. Come into mountain pose. We're going to lift the heels off the ground and take the arms up overhead. Hold here if you can. You're balancing on the balls of your feet. You can use a wall if you want to hold on with one hand. Now, if you can, challenge yourself, look up. So that uplifted gaze can really help us feel less stagnant. Look up, reach up. 1 more breath. And from here, lower your heels, keep your arms up, bend your knees, chair pose. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep your arms back behind you. And then inhale, back up, lift your heels, hold here, look up maybe. Now, if you can, keep your heels up, pull your arms down, lift your heart a little bit. Good. Inhale up, exhale, chair pose, bend your knees. Inhale here, exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up, exhale, sweep back. So we're adding things in each time. Inhale, come up, lift your heels, look up. So if looking up is unsteady, look straight ahead or look down. Maybe hold the wall. Pull the elbows down, look up. Inhale up, exhale, chair. Good. Inhale here, exhale, cactus shape. Inhale, reach up, exhale, sweep back. Good. Inhale, back up to chair. This time lower down into a squat. Now you can let the arms come down for a moment. Squatting is challenging for some of us on our knees. So you can also sit on a block or stay in chair pose. Okay. Squeeze your legs together, tone your belly, and then see if you can reach your arms up. Again, if squatting is too much, you could also kneel. Maybe you could gaze up. Big challenge on your balance. Reach, reach, reach through your arms. And then press to stand. And release your arms. Hold here for a breath. We're going to try that 1 more time. All right, here we go. Lift your heels. Reach your arms. Maybe gaze up. Pull down. Keep the heels up if you can. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, chair pose. Heels down. Inhale, exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep back. Good. Good. Inhale, chair pose and lower down your squat. This time, keep your arms up if you can. Stay in chair if squat is too much. Maybe look up. Reaching up as high as you can, lengthening your spine. And then we're going to press up, reach up, heels down, and let those arms come down. Very nice. Widen your feet a little bit. Catch your breath. We're going to work a little bit with the shoulders, breaking up stagnation again in the chest, the collarbone area. So we're going to have the arms kind of loose, but a little bit bent in the elbows. And we're going to roll the shoulders forward. And we're going to do it at a pretty fast pace here. So get some energy moving as much as you would like. Yeah, this really breaks up any tight tissue around our chest, around our shoulders, collarbones, and now reverse, go the other way. Elbows or shoulders are rolling back. And just get a good pace going. So we're creating warmth, creating heat, breaking up stagnation, and just creating a little bit more uplift in our minds and bodies. All right, let that go. Pause for breath, just feel that energy moving. And now let's stand at the top of the mat. So I'm going to be facing away from you. Stand in mountain pose at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can be on thighs, shins, or the ground. Exhale, fold, squeeze your belly in toward your spine. Inhale, rise up, arms reach. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift through the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release your arms. We're going to do lunge salutations. So if you like to have blocks for lunges, you can place your blocks in front of your mat. If you don't have blocks, hands can go to the floor. Just do what you can. All right. So finding your mountain pose, inhale, reach the arms up. Palms can meet, you can gaze up if you can. And then as you exhale, cactus the arms, lift through the chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down to the blocks or bend your knees enough to go to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest, step your right foot back. Move your blocks back. Drop your back knee down to the ground. Toes can be tucked or untucked, but just firm your hips in toward the middle. Inhale, reach the arms up. Good. Exhale, pull down into that cactus as you slide your front knee forward and lift through your heart. Good. Inhale the arms up 2 more times. Exhale, pull down, the pelvis gets heavy, heart lifts. Inhale, 1 more time. Exhale, slide that knee. You're lifting through your lower belly and lower back. Good. And then from here, we release. Hands to the ground. Step back, plank pose. Now you can lower all the way down. Take a cobra. If you want to take an up dog, you can straighten your arms, lift your legs, take an up dog. So I'm just showing cobra today and downward facing dog. Maybe next round I'll do the up dog. All right, down dog, inhale your right leg straight up behind you. Step through, come into your lunge. You might need to help that foot along if it doesn't quite make it. Drop onto your knee. Back toes can be tucked or flat. Rise up. Hug your hips in for stability. Root through your feet. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, let the pelvis drop. Pull the elbows, lift through the heart. 2 more like this. Inhale up. Exhale, pull down. 1 more time. And I'm looking up toward the ceiling if I can. Good. Now this time, release your hands to your blocks or the floor. Lift your back knee and step forward. Top of the mat, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pull down into that cactus shape. And inhale, reach. Exhale, down. We're going to try the other side. So it's the exact same pattern, but we're starting everything on the left leg. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, pull down, open the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the blocks or the floor. Inhale, as you lift your chest, step your left foot back. Move your blocks back. Drop down onto that back knee. Decide what to do with your back foot and then rise up. You can always put hands on your thigh for stability. Hug in and then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, pull the arms down as you drop your pelvis, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach up, and now release. Set the blocks to the side. Step back, plank pose. Either lower all the way to the ground or you lower halfway, chaturanga. Lift your chest, lift your legs, up dog. That's a little more challenging. Stick with cobra if you like. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, left leg reaches high. Step through to that lunge. Drop onto the back knee. Rise up as you are ready. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, pull down. Two more like this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. One more time. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Find your blocks if you're using them. Lift your back knee. Step forward. Fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach up, and then release. Arms down at your side. Okay, so we're going to build another sequence now. We're still going to be using blocks if you have them available. If you don't, we can modify, but they are helpful for this next sequence. So just keep them to the side at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, step back. Take the vinyasa. If you like, you can go right to dog or lower to the ground. Cobra, up dog, your choice. Okay, so we're going to inhale, excuse me, right leg up, step into warrior two. So warrior two, we're bending into our front knee. Back leg is straight, arms come up to shoulder height. And we're going to look over those right fingers. Really expand through your arms. So another quality of earth water, it's very contracted. We want to find expansion. Expand through your arms, lift through your chest, pull your tailbone down. One more breath. Good. Now from here, we're going to straighten the front leg, reach forward, and come into triangle. So you can bring your hand to your block. If you don't have a block, put your hand on your shin. And then from here, top shoulder, roll it back. Top rib cage, roll it back. So you feel very open through your chest, root into your back leg, back foot, and then reach the arm up. If you feel unsteady here, keep your hand on your hip. Now let's try, look up at your top hand. If that makes you really wobbly, I want you to skip it and focus on rooting into your feet. Those of you who can, look up at your top arm, reach that top arm high. Good. Now, take that arm, wrap it behind your back. See if you can kind of sneak it in towards your hip crease, the lower hip crease, and then roll the top shoulder back. Ground into your leg and pull the tailbone and the belly towards each other. Now again, can you look up and roll the top shoulder back? So getting into that chest, collarbone, lymph area again. Now turn your gaze down to the ground. Roll your bottom shoulder back, roll your top shoulder back, and tuck your chin and reach through the crown of your head. So we get a little more into that neck area. From here, release the top arm and just bring it onto your hip. So we're going to go into half moon pose, which is a balancing pose. We're going to bend into the front knee, move your block forward if you're using your block. If you don't have a block, you're going to have to put your hand on the ground. So just be mindful. Step in a little bit, Move your block again, and then we're gonna float this top leg up just like we did when we were down on the ground. Maybe your top arm can reach up. Firm your legs, firm your belly. Maybe you could look up toward that top hand. That's really tricky, so only if you're super steady. One more breath, and then we're gonna step it back. So slowly step that foot back and come into warrior two. Good. From here, reverse warrior, we're gonna take the back hand, wrap it around for your opposite hip, turn your palm up, and reach for the back. Now use your bottom hand to pull your hip down as you reach through your arm. We get a bigger stretch through that side body. Good, release back to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Take a vinyasa if you would like. Or you can go right to dog. You can also take a child's pose anytime you feel like you need one. Listen to your body. Okay, side two, inhale, left leg, step through, warrior two. Deep bend in your front knee, draw the tailbone down, expand through your arms. Lift through your belly. Notice if your pelvis is jutting forward. See if you can level out your pelvis more. Yep, that's it. Good, holding it here. Let's take another cycle of breath. All right, we're gonna move into our triangle now. So we're gonna straighten that front leg, reach forward, and bring your hand down to your block or your shin. Place that block under your shoulder, top hand on your hip initially. Good, firm your legs, press into your feet, hug your inner thighs towards each other. And then from here, top arm up initially, and really reach it up. You should feel light on that bottom hand. Maybe you could gaze up toward the ceiling. Now take that top hand, wrap it behind your back, try to tuck it into your opposite hip. And then we're gonna roll that shoulder back, roll the top rib cage back, look up initially if you can. If this is too much on your neck, gaze forward. Good, now you're gonna look down, roll the bottom shoulder back, tuck your chin, and lengthen through the crown of your head. As you do that and you're reaching through the crown of your head, roll that top shoulder back again. All right. Release your top hand onto your hip, preparing for your half moon balance. Bend your knee, step that block forward, and then let the back foot come in, lift that back leg, let it float up. Good. Hold it here for another moment. Maybe that top arm can reach up if you're steady. Rooting through that standing leg. Firm your hip muscles. You can get lighter through that top leg. Lift it high. Good. And then carefully step back into your warrior two. Bending into that knee. Very good. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Step back to your dog. You're welcome to take a vinyasa. We're going to meet in child's pose after that. So bring your knees down, take a little rest. We've got one more big challenge, and then we're going to start to bring the energy down a bit. Let's hold here for another breath or two. All right, coming back to your downward facing dog, we're going to repeat that sequence one more time with the warrior two in the triangle, add on one more challenge, and then we're going to try a different version of our half moon. So, standing at the top of your mat. If you're not there, you can come up through dog, come to the top of your mat. Standing in your mountain pose. Open the collarbones, lifting through your chest, through the crown of your head. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, and we're gonna step it back. You can take the vinyasa or go right to dog. So if you're taking vinyasa, you go to plank, lower down, cobra or up dog, and down dog. Okay, here we go. Right leg up, step through, warrior two. So sometimes you got to help that foot through to get all the way through. Arms out to the side, lift through your chest. Coming right into triangle this time. Straighten that front leg, reach forward, hand to the block or your shin, top arm up. Reach that top arm nice and high. Good. Keep that feeling of expansion in the chest. Bring the hand to the hip, top hand to the hip. Press through your legs, firm your legs, tone your belly, get light on your bottom fingers. So come up on the pads of your fingers like a little tent. That might be where you stay. Really anchor through your legs, micro bend this knee. Some of you can reach the bottom arm forward. So we start working on this last week. So that's too much, keep your hand down. Now those of you who can, top arm also up, so we progress. Maybe you look up at that top hand. The legs have to be super strong to support your body here. And then rise up, warrior two. Nice. We're gonna cartwheel the hands down to the blocks. And you're in a lunge toward the front of your mat. You're on the ball of your back foot. Okay, so actually, can you guys, maybe if you can watch this before you progress. I'm gonna step my blocks forward and lift up like warrior three. I'm gonna move back so make sure I'm in the frame here. Okay, so like warrior three, but now we're gonna open up to half moon. Bring the hand to the hip, turn open. Firm this top leg, firm your belly. Get light on your fingers. This is where we're going. Maybe reach that arm forward, maybe the top arm up. Super challenging. And then we can release and fold over your legs. All right, so let's see. Give it a try. So you're gonna move your blocks forward, step forward, come up to warrior three. So you're gonna float the back leg up. That's it. So firm into your hips. And you're gonna start to peel open into your half moon. So if your right leg is up, you're gonna stay on your left leg, bring your right hand to your hip and start to turn your chest open. Maybe keeping that top hand on the hip, draw the shoulder back. Good, and then maybe getting lighter on those bottom fingers. Good, Sue, I see that. Reach through that bottom arm. Maybe the top arm can extend up. So using a lot of core, a lot of balance. Just fun to try. Stay lighthearted about it. And then you can either step back through your warrior two if you want, or just come down, both legs down and fold. All right. So now we're going to do that whole thing, side two. Let's all meet at the top of the mat, coming through to our mountain pose. And we'll do the other side. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back to dog or take your vinyasa, your choice. Inhale your left leg up behind you. Step through, come into warrior two. Good. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Reach forward, hand to block, top hand to hip, triangle. Move your pelvis toward the back leg. You want to get nice and long through the side body. Roll the top ribs back, shoulder back. And then from here, really engage your legs. Press your feet, hug your inner thighs, tone your belly, get light on your fingers. You might come onto one fingertip. And then reach the arm. If you can, reach the top arm. If you can, look up. These are all progressions. Do what you can. Good. And then release. Bring that hand back down. We're going to start. Let's come back up to warrior two. Sorry. Cartwheel your hands. Now we're in our lunge. Spin onto the ball of your back foot. Good. Walk your blocks forward. Bring the back foot in. Blocks forward again. And then lift into your warrior three. Make sure your standing leg is firming in. And then you're going to start to open up into your half moon and bring your hand to your hip. So top hand to your hip. Lift that leg nice and high. Roll the chest open. Come up onto the fingertips. Maybe one finger. Maybe reach that arm. Maybe the top arm. And then your choice, step it back through warrior two or come down to fold forward. Good. And then we'll all cartwheel the hands down, step forward, and fold forward. You made it through the hard work. So take a little break in Uttanasana. So forward fold at the top of your mat. You can hold opposite elbows or big toes. Your knees are slightly bent and your sit bones are tipping upward as your chest and head descend downward. If you have opposite elbows, go ahead and switch them. So bringing that energy down. We probably broke a little sweat today, got that energy moving. All right, hands to hips, bend your knees, press through your feet, and we're gonna come all the way up to stand, and then we're gonna sit down. So if you like to sit on a prop, grab a blanket or a pillow to sit on and grab your strap. I'm gonna have a loop in your strap. So if you have a yoga belt, make a loop that's about as long as your thigh bone. So from your hip to your knee, that's about how long we want that to be. And you can adjust it later, but keep that to the side. I'm gonna give you guys a moment to get your loop in your strap. That'll give me a chance to grab a drink. Okay. So we're gonna do Bhadrasana is the name of this twist. It's named after a sage, a yogic sage. So bring your feet in front of you. And we're gonna drop the knees over to the right. Scoot your feet back. If you can, you're gonna rest your top shin, so your left shin or ankle in the arch of your right foot. We're gonna take our loop around that top leg, so that left leg, and have the tail or loop part come back behind you. So we're gonna reach back and grab it. So make sure you can take your right hand and go behind you and grab the strap. If you can't, make it a little bigger, okay? All right. Well, looks like we're almost all there. We're kind of off onto that right hip like we did those abs in the beginning of class. We're gonna reach the arms up on the inhale. Interlace your palms and press the palms up, get nice and long. As you exhale, we're twisting to the right. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Now you can always stay here, or if sitting like this doesn't feel good, you can just do a cross leg too. Excuse me. You're gonna take your right hand, reach it behind your back and try to grab the strap. So you might need to use your other hand to get the strap and then bring your hand back to your knee. Good. Okay. Now, inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, turn to your right. Pull on your strap, which is going to open your collarbone, open your shoulder, and then press your left hand and your right leg into each other, which will give you a little more turn. We're going to inhale here, lift through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, look forward. So you're going to look over towards your left shoulder. Good. Keep pulling on the strap. If you want to go further here, drop your head towards your left shoulder, and then you get a bigger stretch into that neck, collarbone, shoulder area where we have that lymph congestion. And then just breathe here. Let's take another moment. Pull on the strap, pull with your hand, the other hand. And then we're going to slowly, slowly bring the head back. Let go of the strap first and unwind. Good. Okay, let's come to the other side. So you can take the strap off. Bring your feet in front of you. And then we drop them to the left. Scoot your feet back. And then rest your shin, your ankle bone in the arch of the bottom foot. We're going to put the strap around your right leg. Make sure you can reach back with your left hand and grab it. It might be different on one side versus the other. And then before we twist, inhale the arms up. Interlace your palms. Press up, get as tall as you can. We want to decompress that spine before we twist. And when you're ready, you're going to twist towards your left side. And we're going to reach around, see if you can grab the strap with your left hand. Right hand holds your knee. And then pull on the strap. You get that more open collarbone, open shoulder, and then hand and leg press into each other. First, we're gazing toward the left. See if we can get that rib cage to revolve any amount more. We're going to inhale to lengthen, exhale, turn your gaze forward. Good, you can stay there, any stage of the pose. You don't have to do every stage of any pose. And then drop your head if you want to go to the next stage. So head toward the right shoulder, pull on the strap, pull with your bottom hand, and get that opening, breathing here. One more. And then to come out, slowly bring the head back up, let go of the strap, unwind yourself, and then release, and we'll bring the legs out in front of us. Good, give it a little shake. And we're gonna make our way onto our backs now. So grab anything you might want for Shavasana. We're not quite there yet, but if you want pillows, blankets, socks, eye pillows, get all that stuff together. And then when you're ready, you can bring your arms forward and roll down onto your back and give your knees a hug, rock a little bit side to side. Just massage out that lower back. All right, and then from here, just bring your hands on your kneecaps and circle the knees around. And they could either go in the same direction or opposite directions. Sometimes that opposite direction gets a little tricky for the brain. So sometimes it's easier to go in the same direction. And then reverse it, go the other direction. Good. And then reach down, grab onto your ankles with your hands. You're going to go inside your legs. Drop down. Let your tailbone be heavy. Let your shoulders be heavy. And then press your arms and legs into each other. We get that little extra stretch for the groin area. Another place where we have those tendency for a little clogged lymph. Arms and legs press, keep the chest Then shoulders down and relaxed, face is relaxed. And then soften, just keep holding the ankles, just let go of the pressing. And now we'll bring the feet up into happy baby. You can continue to hold your ankles, or you can hold your thighs, or you can hold your feet. Draw the knees down, spread your toes, and press down a little bit through the tailbone and the shoulders. Breathing in through the chest. One more breath here. And then we're going to bring the feet back together and lower them down to the ground. And you're in reclined bound angle. Feet together, knees apart. If you need to, you can slide your blocks under your knees. We're only going to be here for a few moments. We're going to tuck the hands underneath your seat. Tuck your elbows underneath you. And imagine that string on your heart again. Lift your heart up. We're in a baby fish pose. Press through your arms, the forearms, open the collarbones, lift your heart. Your back is off the ground, but your head is down. Hold here another breath. Keep lifting your heart toward the sky. And then soften and come down. Slide your hands out, bring your knees up into the chest one more time. Give a good squeeze. And now take your feet and arms up toward the ceiling for seaweed pose. Let your feet and hands be soft and circle your hands and feet around very slowly. And go the other direction. So just decompressing through the wrists and the ankle joints. And now pause and just let the hands be soft, feet soft, joints soft. But the back is heavy, the head is heavy, the sacrum is heavy. But the body feels light, and you might even kind of sway a little bit, like you're seaweed in water. Let's get that floaty feeling. And we'll hug those knees one more time. And then we'll find our Shavasana. So grabbing whatever props you need to be comfortable. I recommend something under your knees to support your lower back. Maybe you need an eye covering, or maybe you need some warmth on top of your body. So take your time, get settled. And once again, feeling the ground beneath your body. Feeling heavy before we can feel the light. So go ahead and take a few more breaths here. At first, it's nice conscious breath. So you're aware of the inhale, excuse me, aware of the exhale. Be aware of how the inhales help you feel lighter and the exhales help you soften. And as you inhale, imagine filling your body with light. Feel that light move into each of your limbs. And as you exhale, follow your exhale to completion and have a sense of dissolving into that exhale. On your next inhale, imagine filling your body with air. So you're as light as air. And as you exhale, follow the exhale to completion and dissolve into that exhale. On your next inhale, imagine inhaling into your body space. You feel spacious rather than crowded and contracted. You feel open, spacious, wide open. Exhaling, dissolving into that exhale. If you're dissolving into the void every time you exhale. And now we're going to bring our awareness to specific body parts. So on your next inhale, without lifting it, so we're not changing the physical body, imagine your heart getting lighter, filling with air, space, light, defying gravity, as if your heart were going to lift out of your chest without moving. And as you exhale, let it soften down. And then on your next inhale, imagine your arms and legs, your limbs filling with air, light, space. Without moving, they feel like they're floating. They're soft, like your bones were hollow as a bird. You could fly through the sky. As you exhale, dissolving into that sense of the void, open awareness. And now your head, as you inhale, imagine your head filling with that air, space, light, as if the head could float off the ground. And as you exhale, let the head release into the void, long exhalation. And now imagine your whole body as you inhale, filling with that lightness, spaciousness, as if your whole body could float off the ground as you inhale. And as you exhale, dissolving into your exhale, into the void. Do that one more time, whole body. As you inhale, getting lighter. As you exhale, dissolving. Now letting go of all intentional manipulation of the breath and the visualization. And simply allow yourself to be here in this place of spaciousness, lightness, open awareness. Try not to get weighed down by your thoughts. Let the mind feel spacious and open. All right, so our time is coming to a close. We're going to start to come back into our bodies, reground, deepen your breath, wiggling through your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, stretching it out as you're ready. Maybe hug your knees. And take your time to come over to your side. No hurry. No pause on your side. Try not to pop up. This feeling of lightness. As you're ready, you can rise up, coming to a comfortable seat once again. As you arrive seated, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Come to your breath. Imagining with your lower hand on your belly, this is the home of fire element in our bodies. It helps us digest our food and experiences. So imagine the fire at the lower hand. And that fire in the belly starts to light up and warm the heart space. Helping to clear out any stagnation and congestion in our chest. As you inhale, imagine you're pulling up the warmth of the fire toward your heart. And even imagining it coming up higher toward the head, toward our brain, toward the mind. And said that this fire also lights up our awareness, our consciousness. Let's take 3 more breaths like this. Inhaling, drawing that light upward. Fire is also purifying, so it helps cleanse the body of toxins and even invasion. So we get a fever, right? We're trying to fight something off. That's another function of fire. All right, so from here, we'll start to close. Bring your hands together in front of your heart space. Have a nice inhale, lifting the heart, and as you exhale, bow your head down. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. All right, thank you guys for joining me. Let's have a quick question for you guys. So I'm planning on starting to put the link in the newsletter, so I don't have to keep sending you guys all those emails to clog up your inbox. So I just wanted to make sure that that is okay with everyone. If you'd rather have me keep mailing the reminders of the links, I can do that. But if you're all okay, you'll be able to find the links in the newsletter starting the next newsletter that comes out, hopefully later this week. Does that work for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Eventually, hopefully within the next few weeks, I have software that I'm working with trying to figure out everything about it, but you'll be able to register through the software just like you did on Mind Body. It's called Offering Tree, and the Zoom link will automatically be sent to you. So it's gonna be really nice for me.
Nice.
So yeah, but I'm still trying to work out all the details on that. So hopefully by February sometime, we'll have that in place. All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions on today? How'd we do? That was a challenging practice.
I'm on fire.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I hope you feel motivated and uplifted for your day, and I will see you guys next time.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.